Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome to the Tuesday Night Steps to Success call with Xseed, calling you here live from our worldwide headquarters in Las Vegas, Nevada. Joshua Phair, Director of Compensation, here tonight, folks. We're going to have a very, very awesome call tonight. We've got a lot of things happening. We've had leaders flying in from all parts of the country to come check us out. Momentum is very, very definitely picking up here, folks. As with always, folks, I'm going to start off talking to you a little bit differently than you've probably been approached on these opportunity calls before in the past. I know that a lot of times you hear a lot of smoke and mirrors. This is the best, latest, greatest, meanest, greenest thing on the face of the earth. We're so ground floor that we're in the basement type mentality and talk. And I'm just going to take a little bit of time to get real with you tonight and speak to you a little bit different if you give me a little permission to do so. Folks, I want to start out with a little bit of a story today, as I do with all of my calls on Tuesday and Thursday nights. Today I saw a story, and actually I saw it last night and repeated it today because I thought it was just absolutely the epitome of what we're trying to do over here at Xseed. And it's actually a story about a group of young children in Thailand. And this group of young children in Thailand, they lived on an island, and the island had a little village that was a floating village off the coast. And so everything was built on floating platforms, their houses, their walkways, you know, where they did their shopping. Everything was off on a little floating portion of this little rock, basically, that stuck out of the ocean. And so the whole village was floating. And see, they loved to watch soccer. They loved to watch soccer, but nobody played soccer because there was no place to play soccer. And they loved the sport. They loved the sport just with all their hearts. And they decided one day, one of the kids said, you know what, let's form our own soccer team. And obviously, they were all emotion. They were all thrilled. They were all happy. They were all excited. They were going to start a soccer team. And immediately, one of the people from the village started laughing at him and said, "You don't have anywhere to play. Where are you going to play soccer? There's nowhere to play." And dejected, they sat back down and realized that they didn't have anywhere to play. But they really wanted to play soccer. They really wanted to chase after their dreams. They really wanted to be more, have more, do more, and give more with their life. And you know, they just couldn't figure out a way. And so finally one of the kids said, well, what if we built a soccer field? What if we built a soccer field? Now, this is a group of children, young boys. We're not talking about, you know, carpentry majors. We're not talking about people that know how to design fields for sports teams. We're talking about a group of young boys that had a dream. They had a goal. They wanted to go out and build a soccer field so that they could play soccer. And so what they ended up doing is they went out and they found some abandoned fishing boats and lashed these fishing boats together. Once they were done lashing the fishing boats together, they went out and got wood from all parts of the island, wood that people weren't using, you know, wood that was just laying around. They just went out and started finding all sorts of wood over the island that could be used to build a soccer field. So they built it. Don't know how long it took them, but they built this soccer field. And it was a very small field. It was made out of wood, and they put these wooden planks across these fishing boats and then nailed it all together. So as you can imagine, this floating soccer field that they had built for themselves, there was nails sticking up, and of course they were playing barefoot. There's nails sticking up out of the wood. The wood's uneven. The ball would, of course, go into the water, and so would they. And so when they get back out of the water and get back up on the field, it would get wet, so the wood was slippery. Well, and because the field was so small, they had to really concentrate on their ball working skills. Their footwork had to be absolutely excellent because it was a very small field. It was wet. It was uneven wood, and there was nails sticking out everywhere. Well, they started practicing, and it started becoming, you know, a big boom. They were liking what they were doing. They were playing every single day. They were getting better. And one day a boy from the village came out, and he had a flyer, and the flyer was for a soccer championship on the mainland. And they debated, are we good enough? Do you think we'd even have a chance? Is there even a chance that we could do good at this tournament? I mean, we're just young boys, and we don't play on a real soccer field. You know, we play on a floating wooden soccer field in the middle of the ocean, and with nails sticking up and uneven wood, and it's slippery because we're wet and we fall in the ocean and get back up, but leave the field slippery. So they started debating. They started doubting. The little nagging bug of fear kept getting back in their way. Now, I don't know how many of you are on the call tonight that, you know, that are here for a specific reason. Now, I don't know which reason you're here for, but I know for a fact that some of you some of you are in a position where right now you can see all the times in your life that you've been in situations like these little boys, where you wanted to do something with your life, but you just didn't know how. You wanted to play soccer. You wanted to go on vacation. You wanted to spend more time with your kids. You wanted to put more money up for retirement. You wanted to buy a new house, pay off your debts. You wanted to step into a greater measure of your purpose and live the life that you were meant to live. Yet you didn't have a field to do so. You didn't have an opportunity. You didn't have a vehicle to move. So what'd you do? You started building, but people made fun because you didn't have any space. And so you started building a place where you could do it. Yet you were in unlikely circumstances. Maybe there were some nails sticking up in your way. Or maybe there were some uneven boards. Or maybe you kept falling down and tripping. And you can see that. The others, you don't see that, but you hear things in your past that you've been told by your friends and family. Why can't you just be normal? Why can't you just go get a job, climb the corporate ladder, go to school, get a degree, and be normal like everybody else? Why do you have to do these things, these businesses? Why are you always trying to look to be free? I mean, isn't good enough good enough? And some of you aren't experiencing that either. Some of you guys are just having this gut feeling that whatever you've been doing just hasn't worked. And you got this feeling that, if only you had your chance. If only somebody gave you a chance. If only you had the right opportunity. And whichever way you're experiencing, that's perfectly fun because that's the way you were designed to experience things in life. That's the way you were designed to process things in life. What it means, regardless of how you're feeling it or how you're experiencing it, is you're in the right moment, the right time to make a change. You're at the right time to see an opportunity that would change your life and take advantage of it and move forward. You're in a position with your life and the right mentality where you can make a decision to better your life, to step into a greater measure of purpose and live the life that you were meant to live. And that's what Xseed is all about. See, this group of boys, they were about to leave the island to go to this tournament. And one of the people from the village came out and said, you're not going to look like soccer players in those. And what they didn't know is that the whole village had pulled together and put resources together to buy them uniforms. And they bought them shirts, and they bought them shorts, and they bought them socks, and they bought them cleats, and they bought them shin guards. So these boys put them on, these uniforms brand new. And then the village actually started getting in boats. And they followed them over to the mainland to go support their team. This is a bunch of young men. Young men who had a dream, who dared to dream something big, who went out and against all odds lashed some fishing boats together, put some wood on top of it, nailed it together, and created a soccer field, and then started playing soccer. So the village goes out to this tournament, and they go to support these young boys. And the boys go out, and the first game, they win. Why did they win? Well, because on this small field that they were practicing on, they had to perfect their footworking skills. So when they were given more room, they were outperforming the other team. Not only that, the goals that they were using on the small field that they had were very small. And here they were on soccer fields where the goals were literally 2 times as big as the goals that they were shooting the ball into at home. So it was easier to score a goal because they had a bigger target. It was easier to work around people because they had more room. So they won their first 2 games and they got put into the semifinals. Now the semifinals, it started really, really bad. It was really bad for them. It started raining. It started raining a lot. And rainy conditions, I used to love playing soccer in rainy conditions when I was a kid. If anything, just to slide through the mud, okay? But for these kids, it was a little different. First off, they weren't used to playing in shoes. Second off, their shoes were filled up with water. And their feet were wet. So these shoes and socks are now weighing down their legs, so they're sluggish, they're moving slow. And by the end of the first half, the other team was up by 2 points. Now, they could have quit. They could have given up. They could have said, you know what, we're done with this. There's not much chance of a win, because I don't know how many of you have ever played soccer, but if you're 2 down at the halftime, I mean, it's a difficult task to come back from that. It's doable, but it's difficult, and it's definitely downheartening when you look at the conditions. They weren't used to shoes, especially wet shoes. They weren't used to wearing socks, and being slowed down by their equipment. So what did these young boys decide to do? Easy. They just took off their shoes. They took off their shoes, they took off their shin guards, they took off their socks, and they played the second half barefoot. Within 15 minutes, they'd scored 2 goals, and now they were tied. Now, in that game, the other team, right before the end of the half, the second half, scored another goal, and they won. And so this team lost, and they went home, but they went home feeling like they'd accomplished something. Now, why do I tell you this story? The reason why I tell you this story, folks, is like I said, there's a lot of you out there that have looked at your lives and looked at where you're at, and you're not satisfied. You know, you've looked at the things you've done, you've looked at where you're at in life, you know that you're not where you want to be in life, you feel that there's something out there better for you, you know that you have a better purpose or a bigger thing that you're supposed to do here. Yet you haven't been given the tools, the vehicle, the opportunity, the circumstances to really take advantage of. And that's perfectly fine. That's where you are. It's part of your existence. It's not good or bad, it just is. So where does that come in? You know, a while back I was introduced to a company, and the company's called Xseed. And, you know, for the past 7 years I've been designing compensation plans for network marketing companies. I'm very picky who I decide to do business with because they have to have a commitment to excellence. I have to know that they've got everything in alignment so that they can succeed as a company. So I'm picky. I don't work with everybody. As a matter of fact, I turn more people down than I accept. And when Xseed came and approached me, you know, I got to meet John DeVries and Cody over the phone because I was on vacation in Chile. And they introduced me to their products. They introduced me to some of their team, and they started telling me what their vision was. Now, when I saw their products, I noticed that their ingredients that they were using were a little bit higher quality than most. So therefore, their costs were a little bit higher. And I questioned them on it. Are you sure you want to use these ingredients because your cost is a little bit higher than normal? No, we will have to use those ingredients because that's our product. It's one of the best ones out there, and that's what we want to be known for. Great, they had a commitment to excellence. I loved that about them. Then I took a look at their funding. You know, they launched with a 30,000 square foot office right directly across the street from the airport in Las Vegas, right off the strip, so that it's easy access to everybody, prime real estate, beautiful office. You walk into the building, and it's the type of building that most network marketing companies don't move into until their 3rd or 5th year of successful business enterprise. So they put their money where their mouth was. Yet again, a commitment to excellence. Then you look at their staff that they've hired and put together, the team. You've got John DeVries and Cody, who have been massively successful in their lives in the various business ventures that they've done. John also in athletics, racing, and different things that he's done. Then you look at the CFO, who's had massive experience in retail and opening markets and putting products into retail stores across the country. Very, very, very capable CFO for our company. Then you look at our customer relations department. Every single one of our girls brings something absolutely fantastic to the team. And you look at our branding department, where we have our branding and marketing, and the team is able to put out resources for use of you, for those people who are out there building their business, so that you can have business cards and banners and flyers and brochures and different things that you guys can use as marketing materials, which are sleek, sexy, and branded to the company. Then you look at our IT guy, who keeps everything running and makes sure that we have our internet connections, our phone connections, we have our softwares on our computers that we need, and we have no problems. You look at the team that he's put together, and you see yet again another commitment to excellence. And so what we did is we put together a compensation plan that was a commitment to excellence, that covered the 3 basic facets of a compensation plan that are absolutely essential for a compensation plan to work. Number 1, upfront, up now money. Money for now, the people who need to pay their bills right now, that are struggling, that are maybe a little bit behind, and know that if they just work a little bit, they could get paid right now. That's the first function of the comp plan. Okay, so with that, we've got some excellent retail bonuses. We've got some jumpstart bonuses, a 3-tier jumpstart bonus that allows people to put money in their pockets as soon as possible. Okay, then we decided we needed to put in a good residual income or walk-away money program. And so we put in a binary, and we put in a unilevel compensation plan. So there's multiple different ways that people can build up an organization over time and create a valid, legitimate walk-away income, to where over a period of time they can build up an income, walk away from their current job, so that they can concentrate on the things that will let them know that they're living a greater measure of purpose and fulfilling the life that they were meant to live. Yet again, another commitment to excellence. And folks, that's why I decided to work with Xseed. That's why I decided to come on permanently as a part of the corporate team as the Director of Compensation. Because with those 4 commitments, the commitments to excellence that they have everything that it will take to succeed in the network marketing industry. And so that's something that's very important to me. Like this soccer team. So this soccer team, they were in this competition. They took, you know, they were in the semifinals. They lost. They took 4th place, and they went home. Now again, they could have been dejected. They could have been depressed. They could have given up. They could have never played soccer again. They could have gotten home, dismantled the soccer field, threw away the broken fishing boats, and went on with their lives to become fishermen like the rest of the village. Well, what did they do? They came back with a vengeance, went home, rebuilt the soccer field so that it was flat, smooth, and had no nails, started playing with shoes on their soccer field at home, made it a little bit bigger, and soon, within that area of Thailand, soccer was the #1 pastime. Now, what happened to them? What happened to them is the following. They won the youth championship for Southern Thailand in 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, and 2010. And this story was produced in 2011. So who knows what they've done from then until now. But 2004, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, for 7 years in a row, they went on to be champions of Southern Thailand in soccer. Why? Because at one point in their life, they got sick and tired of watching soccer on a screen, and they wanted to play it themselves. And they were told, you can't do that, you don't have space, you don't have the talent, you've never touched a soccer ball before in your life. And what do? They went out and they found some old fishing boats, and they created a field, and they got a ball and they started playing. Now, did they succeed at first? Probably not. They were probably horrible at first. And the ball probably spent more time in the water than it did on their field. But did that matter to them? No, because they had a desire to play. They had a dream. And some of you can relate to that. Because some of you have a burning desire within you to succeed and be better at what you're doing, to have more, to be able to give more, to do more than what you're doing currently right now. And they overcame. They went to a competition, and they were bogged down. Yet another opportunity to fail. Their boots filled up with water, slowing them down. Right? They didn't take them off. They could run freely and fast, barefoot, against the team that was wearing cleats. And they had a comeback. Yeah, still they lost. And they could have failed right there. They could have quit again. What do? They went out and became the champions 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010. Why? Because they had a burning desire, burning dream. Now, some of you out there on the phone now can probably imagine now with what we've got going on, our commitment to excellence in the product, our commitment to excellence in the compensation plan, our commitment through funding and financing the business and putting our money where our mouth is, and our commitment to excellence on our executive team. You know, right now, Dr. Bill and Dr. Leslie, who formulated the products, are here in the office. It's late at night. It's past 6 o'clock. Yet they're here in the office because we have leaders that flew in from out of town. They're busy people. Not like this is their deal. Dr. Leslie is extremely busy, and so is Dr. Bill and everything else that they do. Yet they're taking the time out of their busy day after hours to come into our office to talk to some new people about the products. Commitment to excellence. John has flown out to some of the boat shows that we're doing, where we've sponsored the Miss Geico Racing Boat. Why? Because of commitment to excellence, a commitment to the field. Now, I don't know if you can relate to that, but if you're there on the phone right now, it's because of a reason. And it might possibly be because you have a dream. And you have a burning desire within you to be something more than you've currently been in your life, to have more than you've currently had in your life, to be able to do more than you've currently been able to do, and to be able to give more than you've currently been able to give. And you can see yourself one day on a stage being recognized in front of 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, 15,000 people for having succeeded finally and overcome all of your obstacles. Or maybe you can hear the chanting of the crowd as they're roaring your name in uproarious applause because you've just been promoted to the highest rank of the company. Or maybe you just have that gut feeling deep down inside you that lets you know that it's your time. Whichever way you experience, folks, that's fine. Come on board. What it's telling you is it's time to move. It's time to make a decision, time to move forward. So how do you join with us? There's 4 steps of coming on board and moving forward with us. I'm just going to go over those really, really quickly, and then I'm going to leave you for the night. Number 1, contact the person who invited you to this call immediately and ask for their website so that you can go and click the button that says Get Started. Okay? So you go, you click that. You fill in your personal information. You go to Step 2. Step 2, choose a Jumpstart Pack. Now, these Jumpstart Packs have been specifically designed to allow you to have a different level of interaction with our products, a physical, tangible experience so that you can taste them, you can feel how they work in your body, and you can become a product of the product. That way, if anybody ever comes up to you and says, hey, how does the fresh taste, those greens? because every other greens that I've ever had from any other company or source just really don't taste well. You can say, because you've tasted them, oh, they taste great. They work as well. I just sent them off to a friend myself personally, and this is just me. I sent them off to a friend that's in Florida, and he's actually here in the office today. Why? Because I sent him the products, and he's been drinking the greens every day when he wakes up in the morning because of how good they make him feel. Okay, you'll be able to do that because you have the product, because you've experienced the product. Okay, that's the reason why we do it. So when I bring somebody aboard on the team or recommend people on the team, they always say, well, which package should I get? I say, no, you know what? I never recommend anything less than the Big League Pack. And the reason why I say this isn't because the Big League Pack is the top pack. Okay? It's not because of more PV. It's not because of more commissions. The reality is it gives you one of every single product that we have. That gives you maximum exposure to our products, so that way if somebody calls you up and says, hey, do you have, what do you think about this extreme energy drink? You can't say, well, I don't really know because I haven't tried that product yet, okay, because you've experienced the product. So choose your Jumpstart pack. Like I said, whichever one you choose is up to you. I personally recommend the Big League pack. Next step, the third step, choose your auto ship. Now, we've set our products to be used where we've set them and designed them to be 28-day supplies, which means what we do is we set up our auto ships to be every 28 days, and that happens to be how we do our compensation model as well. We've got weekly checks, and then we've got monthly checks. The month for our company is every 28 days. Okay, so we've got those defined within our compensation plan online. If you want details, you can ask the person who enrolled you what each 28-day period is. But we have our auto ship. So this auto ship will come to you every 28 days, like clockwork, so you never run out of product. So you start taking your product, and then 28 days later, a new batch of product shows up so that you can continue using it without fail. Because in reality, folks, if you're looking at healthy products and lifestyle, our products aren't just about a 90-day challenge or a 60-day challenge. Our products are about a lifestyle change. Our products are about healthy living. And you can't just experience healthy living in a 28-day swatch and then just go 2 months without. It's like opening a McDonald's franchise and opening it for a week and then taking 2 weeks off vacation and then coming back and expecting your customers to still come to your business. It's just not going to work. You have to have consistency. And so that's why we have people put themselves on an auto ship, and those auto ships can be changed, but you select the products that you want for auto ship, and then you hit next. And now you've enrolled. So those are the 3 steps to enroll. And then the 4th step, as far as how to get started, is we have a PDF file within the back office that teaches you how to do a tasting experience. And the tasting experience is for one purpose and one purpose only. It's to help you create income while sharing the products with friends. Okay, we have a very generous retail side of the business, and also jump starts, which allow you to make money for new executives coming in. And the easiest way to do this is through a tasting experience. You simply set up a tasting experience according to the PDF, the guide that we've set out for people. And you set up a tasting experience, and you have people come to your house or to a friend's house, and you sample out the products, tell them how wonderful it is, take no more than about 15 minutes, and they have order forms. And those people who want the products will order the products, and you start making some money. This is the way the people that are making the quickest money right now in the company when they get started are doing it. It's step number 4. So step number 1, call the person immediately who invited you onto the call. Get their website so that you can click Get Started and get enrolled with us. Step number 2, click Choose Your Auto Ship or your Jumpstart order so that you can get the experience with every single one of our products out there. Step number 3, choose your auto ship so that you can be on a consistent struggle or strive to change your lifestyle on a continuous basis instead of just a one-time shot. And then step number 4, let's have our first tasting experience so that we can create an income, because that is ultimately what will help you get towards what we were talking about initially with this call, which is whatever it is to you that means life. See, at Xseed, we say our motto is "We are life." What does that mean to you? I don't know what that means to you. I know what it means to me. To you, it may mean more time freedom, more time with your kids, more money for retirement, college education for the kids, a new house, pay off debts, better health, lose some weight, get better energy, be able to play sports again without being winded, be able to climb the stairs without being winded, be able to bend over and touch our toes or tie our shoes without being winded, okay? Or whatever it is that is being more or having more, doing more, giving more with your life. In order to do that, we can't just change your lifestyle and your eating habits. We also have to help you increase your finances. And so that's one of the things, I just got out of a meeting with John DeVries, and he was talking to some of these new people, and I just loved his commitment to helping change, helping bring and facilitate change for other people so that they can better where they're at, whether that's financially, mentally, physically, spiritually, health-wise. He's there, and the company's here. So that's what we're all about, folks. We look forward to being with you. We've got a convention coming up in June, which will be absolutely phenomenal in Orlando, Florida. We look forward to seeing you all out there. So with that now, folks, come on board with us. Come rock the world, because that's what we're going to do. And we'll see you here on Thursday night for the call. Dr. Leslie has a call tomorrow night, Wednesday, to go over the products. So with that, have a good night, folks, and we will see you here on our next